All right, so now we're on to Figurative Friday for language arts. And for Figurative Friday, we have a pretty funny little poem there. Okay. Ellie Telephony by Laura Elizabeth Richards. Once there was an elephant who tried to use the telephant. No, no, I mean an elephone who tried to use the telephone. Dear me, I am not certain quite that even now I've got it right. However, it was he got his trunk entangled in the telefunk. The more he tried to get it free, the louder buzzed the telefee. I fear I'd better drop the song of Ellie Fop and Telephone. Pretty cute. Notice how they took the word telephone and elephant and kind of mixed them up throughout the poem. Okay. So, moving on to our questions. From what point of view is the poem told? We talked about point of view last week. Okay. The first person point of view is when the person in the story is telling the story. And you're going to see words like I. They're giving you a first person's account of the story. Okay. Second person means that you're going to see words like you because they're telling a story. They were there, but they're telling the story about you, not about themselves. Okay. Third person, somebody telling the story that's not in the story at all. There are kind of like a narrator that sees what's happening and stuff like that, and they're telling the story about other people. And then no point of view. Again, there definitely has to be a point of view because we're reading a poem or a story. So I hope that after you read the poem, you went with A, first person point of view. Because if you go back into the poem, you see the words I, like, no, no, I mean an elephone, or dear me, I'm not certain quite that even now I've got it right. So when you see those words I, then you know that it's coming from the first person point of view. And which of the following best describes what is happening in the poem? So, even though this is a funny poem, we want to make sure that we understand what the poet is trying to tell us. So, let's take a look at A. An elephant gets tangled in his trunk. Okay, it was definitely talking about an elephant. It was definitely getting tangled, but I don't believe it's getting tangled in its trunk. So, I might not cross that one off right in the beginning because I do know that there was some kind of an entanglement. So let's just leave that one open for now. B, a telephone won't stop ringing. I know it said that it kept buzzing, but it's not just about the telephone. It's about the telephone and the elephant, right? So I think that one we can go ahead and cross off completely. C, an elephant gets tangled in a telephone cord. Okay. It's talking about being tangled. It's talking about the elephant and the telephone. So I think I'm definitely going to leave C out because that one definitely sounds like what the poet could be talking about. And D, an elephant sings a song while on the telephone. I don't remember it talking about it singing. So I'm going to go ahead and cross off D. So took it down to a 50-50 choice. A and C. An elephant gets tangled in his trunk or an elephant gets tangled in a telephone cord. I definitely think C is the better answer because C is talking about the elephant and the telephone being tangled up with each other, which is exactly what the poet was talking about when they got all confused and started combining elephant and telephone together and different funny words. Okay. Remember what figurative language is all about, a way that a poet uses words to make their writing more interesting to the reader. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop this here and then move on to Throwback Thursday math.